If you're experiencing pain on the inside of your foot, you're probably wondering what caused it. Whether you're an athlete or someone who's more inactive, it's important to get a proper diagnosis. Today I'll be talking about 7 conditions that can cause pain on the inside of your foot, their causes, treatment, and ways to prevent them. But before I do, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Ryan Berg, and I've been practicing podiatry for over 40 years in Seattle, Washington. I've written an ebook to help you learn more about one common condition that causes pain on the inside of your foot. Stop living with painful bunions. You can find a link to download it in the description below. Also, if you find the information in this video helpful, please remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and then hit the bell so you can receive a notification every time I release a new video. Let's start with bunions. Bunions are bony bumps that develop on the inside of the big toe, often associated with flat feet, over pronated feet where the arch drops down, or the tendency to roll your feet inward, injuries, or neuromuscular issues. Wearing high heels or tight shoes can worsen bunions and lead to pain on the inside of your foot from rubbing and friction and joint pain. Treatment for mild bunions includes padding, wearing shoes with a wide toe box, and custom orthotics to correct your foot alignment and remove the force that tends to cause the discomfort as you walk forward. If your bunions have advanced to the point where you can't get pain relief through conservative measures, you may well need a consultation regarding surgery. To prevent bunions from getting worse, it's important to wear shoes with a wide toe box and heels of 1 inch or less. If your podiatrist has made orthotics to correct your foot mechanics, it's important to wear them consistently. To learn more about bunions, click on the link above. Another common condition that can potentially cause inside of the foot pain is plantar fasciitis. While this condition more typically causes pain in the heel, it can also radiate to the arch and the inside of the foot. Common risk factors include flat feet or even high arches, overpronation, participation in high-impact sports, tight calf muscles, and wearing unsupported footwear or worn-out shoes. Treatment begins at home with rest, icing, taking an anti-inflammatory medication if your physician approves it, and stretching. In the office, we'll take further measures to treat your inflammation with things like MLS laser or cortisone injection, taping, and other methods as needed. We'll provide custom orthotics to correct your foot mechanics, get you on a more aggressive stretching regimen for your calf muscles if they're tight, and teach you how to purchase more supportive shoes. To prevent plantar fasciitis from flaring up, it's important to avoid going barefoot at home, keeping up stretching, wearing supportive shoes that are appropriate for your sport or everyday activity. To learn more about plantar fasciitis, click on the video link above. Next is posterior tibial tendonitis, or an inflammation of the posterior tibial tendon behind the tibia bone over here on this side of your ankle. The tendon connects your calf muscle to bones on the inside of your foot and your arch. Its purpose is to support the arch when you move, particularly when you land on the ground. This tendon can become inflamed due to chronic overuse or an acute injury. Pain is felt from the bottom of the arch to the inside of the ankle and behind the ankle. Risk factors for this condition are overuse through running, hiking or sports, diabetes, high blood pressure, and obesity. In the early stages of this condition, treatment focuses on reducing the inflammation of the tendon, followed by treatment with custom orthotics, physical therapy, or special braces that come above the ankle. Without treatment, it can lead to further degeneration of the tendon, and surgery may be necessary. If you're an athlete, you can prevent this condition by building up your training schedule gradually, stretching and strengthening the posterior tibial musculature, wearing supportive shoes appropriate for your sport, wearing your orthotics consistently, and resting when you experience any pain. Another syndrome that occurs in the same region as posterior tibial tendonitis is through the tarsal tunnel and the tarsal tunnel syndrome. Instead of the tendon becoming inflamed, the nerve in this tunnel that goes to the arch becomes compressed. In addition to pain on the inside of the foot, you can experience burning, numbness, and tingling radiating from your arch to your toes. Risk factors for this condition include abnormal foot mechanics, chronic overuse and injuries, inflammation of the tendon, abnormal growths such as ganglionic cysts, and conditions like diabetes or arthritis, and even conditions where the veins have too much fluid in them. Treatment can require a great reduction of inflammation, custom orthotics, and wearing supportive footwear. Regenerative treatments such as MLS laser therapy can also heal the nerve and surrounding tissues at the cellular level. Preventing this condition requires wearing custom orthotics consistently, increasing sports activities very gradually, and keeping the ankles flexible. I'll put a link to some ankle exercises above. Next is a condition called Abductor Hallucis strain. What's this? It's a muscle belly right over here. Connects the heel to the inside of the ball of the foot. If this becomes strained, it can develop micro tears due to overuse and pain above the heel but on the same side. Other risk factors include overpronation of the foot, flat feet, and symptoms can include pain across the arch, swelling, and difficulty flexing the big toe. Treatment includes rest, taping of the arch, and custom orthotics to correct for flat feet and overpronation. It's also important to stretch the calf muscles. To prevent this condition, it's very important to wear your orthotics, supportive athletic shoes during sports activities, stretch regularly, and increasing your training very gradually. Another structure that supports the arch is the tarsal navicular bone. It's prone to stress fractures from overuse and increase in sports activity and wearing unsupportive footwear. It's also important for women who are underweight and have low bone density to be aware of this problem. Symptoms can include tenderness on the top of the foot and pain that develops slowly and over time on the inside of your foot, just in front of the ankle and below it. To treat this condition, patients need to stop activity, wear a boot for 6 to 8 weeks, and keep their foot immobilized. It could also be helped with MLS laser therapy with patients who are not healing well. To prevent the condition, you need to wear your supportive shoes designed for the appropriate sport, increase your training gradually, and ensure you're eating a diet that has sufficient amounts of calories and vitamin D. Finally, some people have an extra bone in their foot called an accessory navicular, and it's just right next to the navicular bone. It's not fully attached and it can cause pain when irritated. Symptoms typically are mild, but they can worsen with injury, friction, and overuse. To treat the pain, I recommend rest, ice, elevation, and orthotics. Sometimes even a boot is needed to immobilize the foot. If none of this works and inflammation continues, removing the accessory bone will solve the problem. To prevent pain from an accessory navicular, it's important to wear well-fitting supportive shoes. In conclusion, foot pain on the inside of your foot can stem from various foot conditions. Proper diagnosis and treatment are essential to managing these conditions effectively and keeping you active and healthy in the things that you like to do.